everyone, and welcome. My name is Edshara, and I'm going to share my library haul with you guys today. I've separated the books into middle grade, adult fiction, and graphic novels, so let me show you what I have. The first is The Humming Room by Helen Potter, and this one follows a girl named Rue who is very good at hiding, and that comes in handy when both of her parents are murdered. And Rue is eventually sent to live with her wealthy but eccentric uncle whom she did not know existed. And this is a retelling of The Secret Garden, so I'm very interested to see what the author does with the story. Then I have Greetings from Witness Protection by Jake Burt, and this one follows a girl named Nikki who is sent to live with this family who is on the run from a very notorious criminal. And the U.S. Marshals think that placing Nikki with this family will make it harder for the criminal to find them. Nikki also has some street smarts to kind of help the family stay hidden. And this is one that I've been wanting to read for a while, but I've been putting it off because it's a bit of a chunker. But I figured since the library still had it, I might as well check it out and see if I can't get to it this month. I also picked up Liar and Spy by Rebecca Stead, and this one follows a boy named George who has to move to a new apartment with his family after his father loses his job, and there he meets 12-year-old Safer, who is a self-appointed spy. They strike up a friendship and start spying on one of the neighbors, but George begins to wonder, how far is too far to go for a friend. And this one is the second book that I've picked up by this particular author, so I'm hoping that I will enjoy it. My last middle grade book is Save Me a Seat by Sarah Weeks and Gita Varadarajan, maybe. Hopefully I'm a little close. But this follows two boys, Joe and Ravi. Joe has lived in one place his entire life, but his best friends have recently moved away and kind of left him on his own. Then you have Ravi, who is new to town and new to the country from India, and he is also on his own. And these two boys don't really think they have anything in common, but they find out that they're being bullied by the same person. So they decide to work together to kind of take back control. And I've been interested in this one since Erica from Erica E. Reads mentioned it on her channel, and thankfully my library had a copy, so I figured why not give this one a try. Now for my adult fiction books, I have My Name is Leon by Kit DeWall, and this one follows two brothers. Leon is 9 years old and he is biracial, and his younger brother Jake is white, and they have the same mother, and when she succumbs to some of her issues, the boys are placed into foster care after neither one of their fathers can be found. And because it's a little bit easier for Jake to get adopted, he and Leon are separated, and the book follows Leon as he tries to reunite with his younger brother. Then I have two Christian fiction books. The first I am currently reading, and it is A Thing of Beauty by Lisa Sampson, and this one follows former child star Fiona Hume. She left the acting business and moved to Baltimore, Maryland, bought a dilapidated mansion, thinking that she would fix it up and have this grand artist studio. But it's 10 years later and that has not happened, and she's running out of money. So she ends up having to rent out one of the rooms, and she rents it to a man named Josiah, and he begins to show Fiona a different view of the world. And there are some themes in this book that I wasn't really expecting, but so far it's pretty good. Then I have Sing For Me by Karen Halverson Schreck, and this takes place in Depression-era Chicago, and it follows a woman named Rose who has been raised in the Baptist church, and she's been taught that if it isn't Christian music, she shouldn't sing it or listen to it. But one of her cousins takes her to a jazz club, and for the first time Rose sees white people and black people mingling together, and she ends up being asked to be the lead singer for a jazz band, and she begins to have feelings for the piano player in the jazz band, who happens to be African American. So this one sounds really interesting. I've never read anything by this author, but the reviews on Goodreads were pretty good, so I'm really hoping that I like this because it sounds so good. The next two books that I have are mystery, and I have been really interested in trying to find more mystery books written by African American authors featuring African American protagonists. So I picked up Blanche on the Lam by Barbara Neely, and Blanche has made her living doing day work for Southern families, but she ends up at the bank with her fourth bad check, and that gives her some jail time. But Blanche decides that she is not having that, so she goes on the lam, and she ends up finding summer work with a very wealthy family who has some secrets of their own. And when a body is found on the property, Blanche is the prime suspect, so she begins to work the case to clear her name. I also have Bluebird Bluebird by Attica Locke, and I've heard a few things about this particular author, so I will say my expectations for this book are pretty high. But this one follows a black Texas Ranger named Darren, and at the beginning of the book his career and his relationship are up in the air, and he goes to this small town to investigate the fact that two bodies have washed ashore, one being a middle-aged black man, the other one being a younger white woman. And the first thought is that this is a racially motivated crime, and Darren has to figure all of this out before this small town implodes. And then the last two books that I have from the library are graphic novels. The first one is Ninjarella by Joey Kamau, maybe, and illustrated by Omar Lozano. And this is basically a retelling of Cinderella, except in this particular story she is being trained as a ninja. And the illustrations look pretty interesting, and I can't wait to read this. And then I have Strange Fruit, Uncelebrated Narratives from Black History, Words and Pictures by Joel Christian Gill, and this is volume 1. And this is basically a few short stories featuring African Americans finding success while facing adversity. And the illustrations are pretty simplistic, but I think this book will still be pretty good, because I'm sure there's going to be some things in here that I don't know, so I can't wait to learn something new about African American history. And the last book that I have to show you guys today is actually one that you'll eventually see in a book haul. It's also a buddy read with Mary Ellen from Portraits of Me, and I'll leave a link to her channel down in the description box. You should definitely check her out. But it is Everlost by Neil Shusterman, and this follows two children who are killed in an accident, and they end up in Everlost, which is sort of this afterlife limbo, and they have to decide, do they want to stay in Everlost or move on to where they're supposed to be. And I'm really excited for this one because I know a lot of people here on BookTube talk about Neil Shusterman. Maybe not too many talk about this book in particular, but a lot of people talk about loving his writing style. So I'm hoping that we will enjoy this book when we read it. And also I'm excited about it because it is the first time I'm actually doing a one-on-one buddy read here on BookTube. So I'm really looking forward to that. And that is it for the books that I have to share with you guys today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And until next time, guys, God bless. Bye.